Welcome back to the show, and today we're diving into one of the most important but misunderstood topics for aspiring entrepreneurs, SBA startup finance. If you've ever wondered how to fund your first franchise or business without draining your savings, this episode is for you. I'm joined by Beau Eckstein, SBA loan broker, franchise advisor, a go-to expert for helping everyday professionals become business owners. Let's get into it. Hey, Beau.
Hey, Bill. How's it going?
Good. Let's start at square one. What exactly is SBA startup financing, and how is it different from other types of business loans?
So a startup could be a franchise. It could be a franchise startup. So it's an established franchise, but you're opening one in your market. That's a startup. Or it's just you have an idea for a startup. For example, you want to start a driving school, right? Where you're going to do a different spin on driving, teaching people all the prerequisites of driving. And you have, actually, I have somebody that's working on this right now. And that's why it came to my mind. And so he was actually looking at franchises and decided to just, hey, I can't find exactly what I'm looking to do. And he had a vision. So he said, could I get startup financing? I said, yeah, you can. And so you could take any idea as long as it's not, as long as it's an eligible type of business. So no cannabis or money lending type of business or something that's got some religious factor to it. But generally, most businesses are eligible for SBA. So if you want to start a driving school from scratch, yes, we can do those.
That's great. A lot of people assume that you need to have years of business experience to qualify. Can a first-time business owner actually get approved for one of these SBA startup loans?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You need, we put together a resume. It's nice if you have what we call transferable experience, meaning if you're starting a driving school, maybe you worked in the industry, maybe like some corresponding transferable experience, but it doesn't have to be driving. Maybe you've managed a business before. It really doesn't have to be that specific. I mean, if you're getting into a high failure rate type of business like restaurant, you have no restaurant experience, that's a little bit different. But this, a good business plan and projections and a solid borrower, meaning they have a decent resume, they have a nice financial statement, they have good credit, and they can come up with a down payment. And they have a job right now to support them as they ramp up this business, so they have outside income to pay their outside expenses.
What are the basic requirements to apply for an SBA startup loan, and what should someone prepare before they talk to you?
Business plan. Get a business plan. Doesn't have to be a 30-page thing. Just you need to be able to take that business plan and send it to an underwriter, SBA underwriter in Nebraska, who's drinking her coffee, reading this business plan and going, what? Do I really understand it? You got to make it very simple. What you're going to do, how you're going to do it, how are you going to market the business, how are you going to charge for this school, what's your competitive advantage, who's your competition. You address those things in a business plan. I have like 3 or 4 templates. I can show you how to write it up pretty quick, especially using my AI prompt business plan. It can do it. It could do it in about 5 minutes if you can list a couple bullet points. So that's not that challenging. Your projections need to be spot on. So you got to build out 2 years of projections. First by month, you got to build them out month by month. So month 1, I'm going to have 5 customers, and the average customer is going to pay $350 for the school. And here's my expenses, etc. That's your projections. And then a Form 413 is a financial statement. So where's your money coming from for the down payment? We can finance 80 to 90% of this startup. And where's the down payment coming from? After you put the down payment, do you have any money left over? That's why we asked for a financial statement. And then a sources and uses is like, here's all the breakdown of all the costs, including working capital, to start this business, the business plan, 3 years of your tax returns, recent W-2, copy of driver's license. Boom. We are ready to present this generally to a bank. And so what our team does is we help you find and navigate to the right lender, whether it's a bank, a credit union, or a non-bank SBA loan lender. And that's how this all works. So we get you a term sheet, you look at it, go, hey, this is a good deal. And you sign the term sheet. And typically at that point, the processor from the bank or lender takes over. So my work is really front end loaded. I help you find and I help you put the package together and navigate. And then once we get a term sheet, you're going to be working with the processor. Obviously, I step in if there's anything or you have questions as you're going, because sometimes there's some hurdles to overcome. But it's relatively a paperwork game and just being able to check the boxes. So if you check the boxes, we get you startup fund financing, SBA.
What's the biggest mistake you see people make when trying to get SBA financing, and how can they avoid it?
Well, I think most people, I shouldn't say most people, but I always have these conversations like, I want to do this. Okay, great. Well, get a business plan. The reality of it is, it's like people never put their business plan together. And so if you don't start, if you have good credit and you have a little bit of money to put in this deal, 10%, 15% of the total project cost, and you have some outside income, you can get these deals funded. But not every bank does fund startups, right? They don't, non-franchise startups. So that's where we come in and help. But I think the biggest thing is people get, when they hear business plan and projections, they kind of like, I can't do that. And then they're like, I'm just not going to do it. So I think if people realize how easy it is to put together projections and a business plan, if you really, simplify, and there's mentors out there like score.org who will help you do your business plan and your projections for free. They're a nonprofit that works with the SBA. And most of you could probably put them together if you met with me on Zoom and I would just walk you through the template that we provide for you. So it's really not that hard. So the reason a lot of people don't succeed is because they never get started. I think if people knew that SBA isn't that challenging, there'd be more people getting into business. But most people are now, because of podcasts like this, I think people are catching on. They're going, okay, I can own a boring business. I can start a business, startup from scratch. I can invest in a franchise. So that's what we do. We educate people like, look, we can help you. If you want help, we'll help you.
That's great. So if you're serious about owning your first business and you don't want to waste time guessing, talk to someone who lives and breathes this stuff. You can book a discovery call with Beau at bookwithbeau.com and get personalized guidance on SBA startup financing. This could be the move that launches your next chapter. Thanks for listening. See you on the next episode.
If you're a solopreneur or small business owner, listen closely. Business growth isn't about working harder. It's about building smarter systems. It's about automation. And that's exactly what GoHighLevel helps you do. Build your funnel, automate your follow-up, manage your team, all in one place. Click the link below, activate your trial, and see how much more efficient, automated, and profitable your business can be in just 30 days. Hey guys, Beau Eckstein here. If you enjoyed what you saw, please subscribe to this channel. We talk all things financing. I've been in the lending industry for over 20 years, and I'm happy to answer your questions and provide great content.